before this studio, I was in a studio space in Stoke Newington, and it's kind of like a squat, basically. It had no heating or hot water. I don't think the landlord paid any of his bills or didn't pay sort of business rates. We're constantly getting letters through from the council. So it was a bit of a dodgy space, and I think we were constantly worried that the bailiffs were going to come round and take all our stuff. So it's nice now being in a space that does have heating. You know, you're not having to wear gloves to work, and also just being surrounded by lots of exciting people. There's a few of us, I think 3 or 4 of us that have worked together in space since about 4 years ago, and then it's kind of people have come and gone, and we kind of picked some others up on the way, and like friends have come in. So it's kind of has grown organically. It kind of we started in Dawe in a space, and we called that Open, so it was like a collective group, and then moved just down the road where Toby was with us, and 4 or 5 from Open, and then picked up a few more. So it's kind of, people go, and then you kind of gather some more along the way. But
a couple of years ago, I was in Open Studios in Dawe, which was an old big old photography studio where they used to shoot the page 3 models. That's where they did it in like the 70s and 80s. All wooden floors, all really like beautiful building. But there's 26 people in there. And when you're sort of someone who likes to have a good chat with some people and you can while away the hours, it becomes a bit dangerous to your productivity. So we left that space because of how much it was taking people to project manage and to run the whole place. And it was a great space because it was so sociable, and you met new people every day. And then we downsized to a studio with 9 people in it, which is just around the corner from here. And that was an old fashion designer's room, which we couldn't really, when we walked in, we couldn't really see how the space was going to work, but the space seemed really nice. So we went about sort of curating that space and tearing all the sort of wardrobes down and the rails and painting and decorating it all over a sort of couple of weeks and turning it into like an artist's space. And that was great. And the space was brilliant until the roof started leaking and it was freezing cold and the band below us became increasingly noisy.
I think Open was great for me initially because I just started freelancing. So I think I've been freelancing for like 6 months. So I went into an environment where there was 12 other established illustrators. So that was great because I got to see how they work professionally and how they work with clients and just ask them advice, etc. But I think after a while, the actual size of the space meant that it was a little bit hard to concentrate after a while because Open was one half of the double-sized room, so probably there's about 25 people in the room. And that, for me, I found that the focus was starting to go, just even getting up and answering the door, because I was near the door. So, yeah, I think being in a shared studio, it means that you have other people around you who, like, in this group especially, everyone's quite focused, and it makes you take your, like, craft more seriously, I think, because I think you look around and you see other people achieving stuff and working on really exciting projects, and it's quite motivating to, like, to make sure you push yourself and you don't stagnate, and also we share ideas and just encourage each other as well. So I think that's definitely beneficial.
So then there was the move to this space. I went home for a couple of months in between that, just to sort of focus back on my work again. I felt like I'd maybe lost track of what my direction was, so I went home for 3 months to really sort of nail that down again, and then moved in here. And this is a space with 4 and then coming up 5 people, and this space now is a real nice, it's a real calm space because there's 5 people in, everyone is really busy, but everyone's really sociable. And so there's a nice atmosphere every day. There's always people in, but there's not too many people in. And and everyone's just friends really. And the people I used to share a studio with are next door down the corridor. So there's 9 people in there that you can go and chat to whenever you want. So you've sort of got the best of both worlds with this space.
Well, I've recently rebuilt my space just to give me some more room, because quite often I have assistants or interns in helping out, and it's nice to have a bit more elbow room, because before now, if anyone came in to help, I was quite crammed in, and with the type of work I do, lots of making and creating, I need the space to be able to spread out without annoying my studio mates, because I'm quite conscious I don't want to be spreading into their spaces. And yeah, it's nice. It's nice just being able to have all my stuff in one area and feel comfortable working and doing the sort of work that I do.
You know, design studio, sometimes you're all working towards the same thing, so different people will be, you know, doing a different pitch route on the same job, or you can be just working with, just as a pair on something, but here it's mostly quite individual, because everyone's got their own, you know, small company and own individual style, so it's more sort of, yeah, everyone's tuned into their own thing, and then when we sort of have a bit of lunch or want another opinion, then we can sort of interact and, you know, or just kind of, yeah, discuss jobs and pros and cons of things, and yeah.
So yeah, in a space I think it's important to put time into finding the right people, because you're going to spend a lot of time with them. You know, we're here Monday to Friday every week, and you want people both who are hardworking but also who you get on with, and you know, you'll be happy to hang out with, go for lunches with, etc. Because it is, you know, I think it's a 50-50 split between a hardworking creative space, but also, you know, you're surrounded by a group of friends basically, and people you trust, and people who you are happy to bounce ideas off, and whose opinion you respect. So we put quite a bit of time into trying to find these new people for our space, and yeah, fortunately it's worked out really well. I'm very excited about the future of the space.